Anya Sunday. you man you da dem well. Ya pa boy de kan. Mo ya mo ka wo boy dia wo ya bro ba. No bro anya be ko ye no bro be ko enyo. Bro ko abu bro kainda. Ape ko yo bro ya abu kainda. Ape ko ye ba ya dia kainda. Ya ni anu ada je wo. When I get you man you da je wo. Get you man you da je wo. Da wo when I get you man you da je wo. Get you man you da je wo. Get you man you da je wo. When I get you man you da je wo. Get out of here. Pay your mind the world is yours. Take your man who they get to a row. Tell me the years to a row. You go point now where you are going. Well, brother, I'm going to give you my years. Kill by your way, away, that young couple, the one we are the away, that young couple, the one we are the let me give you just a kind of what you can do. Let me do everyone. Oh, it's a good I'll get you my down the well. I'll get you my down the well. When I get you my down the well. Get you my down the well. And the other one, the Wetty Blaha, what was the soup? I did what does he have the idea of the war? What's the brother when I'm playing? And the other
and listeners across the globe. I am Afonso Z, and so right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio to want to welcome you this beautiful to West East Coast here this evening. I'm not sure you're in wherever you are, but kind of a little wet here. We want to welcome you. We say thank you so much for being here, and I hope your weekend and it was good, and we pray that the beginning week going to be good as well. This is your regular editions of the Examiner right here this evening. Here, look, I put the wrong template there. Let me adjust here quickly. This is all right. This is the right one here. We want to say it's good evening. Thank you so much. And how was the Sunday? How was the weekend? And you were also, or what did you do? And the rest of it. But Balalam, we just say and hope and pray that everything went well with you. And of course, as usual, to always keep our country in prayer. Too much at the same time, simultaneously ongoing. And that should not deter, or it should give us the courage to have these critical national conversations. What is important is to be authentic and genuine in this conversation. But the bitterness of the politics of Liberia is just over the roof. And sometimes you go on the social media, things people write, people say, and all of that. I'm not sure what they kind of like think when they're making these sort of statements, or that they are saying things about other people, whether you agree or disagree with them. It's a clear indications of a divided country. And those who are in charge, their inability to also give a good sense of direction to their supporters, and the supporters being very much a personal, and they have inserted themselves more or less loyalty to these institutions or these individuals, that they tend to share their political ideology. So they just go over the top and say things and do things. But that's how this is the challenge within the media industry. The media industry is polluted, is contaminated, it has been infiltrated by these political giants. They are surrogates everywhere in the diaspora, in the US, other parts of the world. And everybody have their own platforms, so they come and make proclamations. They don't verify, they say it, they're wrong with it. And it's been thrown out there. So it's a challenge, and that's what we need to do. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping here to acknowledge our good guys who has committed themselves to this network at all costs, even if they disagree with them, but their tolerance and the resolve, that they will be a follower of this network. And we do really, really appreciate that, for which we do not sanction voices, except those that try to be extreme voices, come and make up things and say a. And we're going to be very forceful with that because their freedom of speech, you do not infringe on other people civil liberties, and you just think it's okay, it's a freedom of speech. No, the freedom of speech has a limitations. You can be held liable for saying things, for talking things that you have not been the same because you think politics is all about it now. You can get into trouble for that. And people need to understand, you know. Okay, let's welcome my man Victor Morgan is here, following religiously from Morrisville. I was coming from Philly the other day. I don't know GPA, the GPSC. Sometimes you want to do your own short call, it turn you the other day, it throw me in somewhere in Morrisville there, and you came to my like, oh, if I get some kind of way, I will end up calling. I will end up calling Morgan, but Victor, but I don't have his number. But anyway, I managed to manipulate. I get out here. Vic, good to have you. To Mr. Dia Browns, good to have you here. This guy, what's his name? Dika Station, what? See you, man, full of creation. Ali Kroma is in the house. Ali, what's up? How you doing? How was your Sunday? How did the weekend go? Hope everything went well. Ali, good to have you here. Catherine, good evening. Good to have you here. Momo is here. I want to thank all of you for being part of this network. Your support is always. We really, really appreciate your company. Without you, we can't do it. Sometimes we are exhausted. Sometimes we are tired. We can push the 8 and 16-hour double triples to a but this is what we sign up for. And when you sign up for something and people confide and trust you, I would say it's better late than never. You can be running late, but you can stay sure or have that conversation because you do not want to lose your base. One of the most important things, and it's in everywhere, do not lose your essence. People who believe or people who kind of like mark their calendar and say, oh, this day, this time, so will be on LPR. This time, the liberal progressive, even though he's a pain in the neck, but he will be on, no bad way for a chat. But let's get a conversation going right now. Is 8:34 Eastern Standard Time, and we do apologize for running late. When you see it like that too, then we handle some other family issues as well. We have other things that we do here. Moses is here, and one of our prime time follower today it's actually tomorrow. So usually if you are a follower of Liberia Public Radio, I'll be coming to Moses. We try to give back to our guys, and part of that is to acknowledge when some memorable days come for them. And for those who we kind of regularly chat with, talk to, we got to get that consent, not because and don't assume it's your birthday, so we should just say it, we should just put anything out there. This is a society will get that consent and we want to do it. So one of our followers today is tomorrow going to be actually her birthday that I like him. And they reach out and they say, can you do a shout out for her? I say, oh, absolutely. That's part of the community service. So Miss Evelyn Collins of Minneapolis, Minnesota, +1 is added to her age. I don't know what the age is, whether 16-year-old, 18-year-old, or 19. I really don't know, but tomorrow is her birthday. We want to wish her best wishes in her new birth time, and we pray for God's blessing. Wow, it's going to be a night here this evening. The independents and the liberal from the Delaware Valley of Joe Biden, They are all here. Well, we want to welcome all of you in today's editions of the Examiners. Let's look at what is happening in the community and news making headlines. Let's get the show rolling. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome. I'm Alfonso Z and Sot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We say welcome to the show. Let me bring in Mr. Moses Sembres, is LPR security analyst, the guy who is leading the campaign to buy the planes that win by the plane loaded at 1-4 down. So I don't know that the right plane there or different plane is in the background. Terry, as soon as I see your image, I'm gonna get you. Okay, there come one of the Boasians, the political relevant, are in red. So this thing here now, we gotta turn the thing here to do. What are you camera over?
Because he wants to change his shape.
Yeah?
He wants to change his shape. and you say he wear it already?
But gentlemen, I'm noticing something here. Those of you who really a strong surrogate of the government, all of your face changing, everybody kind of like it's just shiny and stuff like that, glasses, everything. You tell the secret. Do we need to come on board? Are we accommodated? Do you guys get room for us? Moses.
I mean, you're asking the pastor. Now the pastor that who can pray or who can have visions. So
some of you get the right level. You got a level. You know, somebody I was talking to, you say, my man, I cannot continue to be in opposition. Being in opposition is like staying in poverty and in hardship. Opposition, I just want to elaborate in Africa. To stay as an opposition, get ready to pay the consequences, the price that comes with it. Okay, let's bring in Dr. Jones Otavius Malay Senior is LPR TV Senior Educational Analyst / Political Analyst - Independent plus I don't know.
Dash everything.
Everything involved.
Wow.
Something happened. I will put it out because it's not a bad thing. Somebody called me, said, "But Mr. So, Dr. Mali, are you from Lofa?" So I said, "Yeah." He said, "We can be high on a puppet." That man went there like so. I said, "Oh, because he's from Lofa, so he shouldn't speak his mind, things that he believes in." So you see, that's how it looks like, and that's how this country has drowned. Take itself. You know me, I know you, so it means it's just over. But anyway, guys, good to have you here. Happy Sunday. We want to thank you so much. Let's be a little bit generous here and see how each and everyone doing. Let me start with Moses, who came the guy. Dr. Mali, the man say he want to buy air library. He should buy. He the one. I don't know. Like, the plane said if that particular plane I get, I don't know the tail cut or what one there or I just a sample. If that particular plane we're buying and the picture there, I get problem paying there. But Moses, let's break you in. How are you? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to everybody and wish you all God's blessing. Praise be to Allah for those who are on the other side, Muslims and Islamic brothers and sisters. And I know this is not your day, but praise be to Allah. I would just say here that I'm happy to be on the show. I woke up this morning and we thank God. So I'm not sure why Mr. Saw insists on sabotaging my plane project. I ain't even come with a proposal yet. Every day talking about plane. Dr. Mali, I need you to help me do some research on acquiring a plane for our and we can do it as private citizens, and it doesn't have to be government. And I'm sure the government would not tell us that we can't use Air Liberia name. Liberian Airway, what we want to call it. But I think we have people who can that process so we can have our own planes. And we have the funding in the diaspora. If we can raise over $730 million to go for campaign, we can absolutely do that for our country. The whole city of Green Bay owns the Green Bay Packers that is worth billions and billions of dollars. So with those things said, I think people can be encouraged to start having that conversation by acquiring our own plane so we can stop going through Brussels, where they put us in that one terminal full and keep us there and treat us the stepchild. We go to Morocco. Our people are left unattended to for 20 hours. And, and all of these things. If you don't have a U.S. passport, you will not be treated with hospital with courtesy. And all need to stop for our people. And we pay for these plane fares. So that's a new thing that I'm talking about. Because many a times I bring a thing and people think that it's far-fetched. It can never happen. That I got 20 heads. But again, with the people standing by each other and doing something meaningful, we can. So I'll keep my plane up until we start having a conversation. Then I will take it down so it can go and be repaired.
Terry, Ravi? I thought I'll play thing here, boy. They may, that's your thing. Well, okay, me, I can buy share in it or whatever it is. Let's go to Terry. Terry, how was your weekend? How the family? How was everything so far?
Well, we thank God we are still here. It's snowing in Minnesota, but we're still on.
The snow down finally. It started already. South Dakota, one came. Let's just stay right there. We don't need some in our area. You're holding
Ohio.
Flores, just little flores, coming and all of that. And it's about, it feels like 10 degrees outside right now. The breeze is very cold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, that's the result. When you want to come in the cold, those are the things that a company will come in and being in the cold. I'm going in the cold. Okay, Dr. Marley, good evening. How are you? How was your weekend? How the weekend ended? What do we need to know and we need not to know? The guy, you see, this is where the people, he knows you very well. You are a research guy. He put this thing up. He been promoting it all along. Only to see you now today to dedicate a task to say, oh, do the research. And now when you tell him no, the hell I blame people. When you tell him no, and when you start coming high, he say, oh, Dr. Marley is complicated. Oh, Mr. So. But this guy, he started this, no consultation, no heads up. If you're not come to that, when lie did he call you? He didn't call you. He been trying with this playing where left foot up and the other one down. Now he's telling you to put your career on the line and come to make a convincing argument to buy a keke plane. Good evening, Dr. Marley. Check your microphone. I see Mose now mute. Mose plane now.
No, that the Reverend who can pray for those things to happen.
Somebody is. It's not from my end. Everything looks good here. You want to re-enter? And your mic is not muted. I don't know why. It's something.
Maybe that's the system.
Are you now we kind of like going aggressive on your plane project this evening? I know.
No, I know. The Pastor Collins is praying for us. He prayed today for our plane project to come true.
Okay.
The project, everybody on this show will be a participant.
Yeah. Okay.
What you say, Pastor Collins?
Dr. Marley, yes. Again, we want to say
Dr. Marley is.
We want to say happy birthday to one of our good follower based in Minneapolis. I think this snow is a blessing too, or what? And they say Christmas coming when white snow, or white Christmas or blue Christmas. We say happy birthday to our follower Evelyn Collins based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. tomorrow we're going to be observing her birthday, and we wish her best wishes here.
Well, happy
Having
Thanksgiving.
said that, let's come to tonight's conversation. This is the examiner. What are we examining? So what we need to be examined this evening during the course of the week to where we are. Too much Tabata was ongoing during the weekend. This is crazy. Is it part of what is going on? Are we in the end times? People pray for people to be well, to be healthy, but people come and make proclamation for other people to die or something to happen. What is it? Is that how divisive is how well we are going on with our politics? Let me just see here. Dr. Mari is here. Let's see here. Hopefully the audio works. Dr. Mari, are you there?
Yeah, you getting me now?
Much better, yeah. Is it the guy who want you to do research, by the time he left, he said, wait, the mayor are gonna look for brother. You spoke some kind of Lama Jana, but I didn't understand it. I didn't know, but I know that Lama or Bandi, which one section here. But Dr. Mari, again, good evening, welcome.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys. At least we are able to muscle the strength by His grace to be here tonight. I just came from New Jersey. There are a lot of snowflake around there already. But anyway, the season is not strange. Back to the security analyst plane. I don't know whether he sees as a decoration, but there's a very great idea behind this thing, even though it seems to be like a government project, because government is stopping a lot of projects now, and this is government project. But to be frank with you, this is one thing the diaspora can invest in. This is part of the investment. And we can all lobby around here. Oh my God. Oh.
No.
Is that the man coming from Mali? One of the Mali chief. This could be a very good diaspora project, Mr. Singbe. I'm telling you. Because that's why we're even telling some folks today when they call me about the diaspora thing, they try to organize. I said, look, we need one agenda here. We just need a diaspora investment project, period, nothing else. And we can invest in so many things. And we can all use our contact. You see? But when we start politicizing the whole diaspora thing, it's going to get suffocated. It's not going to go anywhere. If we raise money now and tell Boeing, we can raise 500,000. When you help us, want a little plane, and we start lobbying all around, we'll succeed.
I think I better come in my share. Let's welcome to Wharton Kettle, the Wiashian / independent is in the house. Man, I love that suit, man. That's a very traditional. It reminds me of, I don't know whether the Ome is still living. Ome Bangbat, he was one of the powerful chiefs those days. He was the chairman of the Council of Chiefs during the Samuel Doe time. One chief Bangbat from Bon County, man. Ome, he used to wear some real. Kata, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, CEO, and I'd like to say hi to the rest of the panelists here. It's nice to see you guys again.
And another thing I like about analysts, go ahead, sorry.
And I see the plane Air Liberia back there. Okay. Behind the security analyst, wannabe politician. I don't know what he's doing with plane behind Air Liberia airline. Anyway, that's one of the things that happened here today. And then the doctor himself talking about diaspora project to buy a plane. You better stop your president from buying and flying a private jet while you're finished making a propaganda and you're going to talk about buying plane. So, Mr. So, today, what is on my mind?
We didn't ask you for that yet. You now start your tabata. They didn't ask you well.
You see what I'm saying?
Are you a product?
The security expert want to be politician.
You don't want to sabotage my project. already.
Don't be scared. I just wear it hard. When I tell you how all I flew will disappear. No, but on a serious note, something on my mind today. I know you asked the panelists, their opinion, comment.
No, we're going to come to that. What I was doing was just to kind of do a run through with everybody, how their weekends, we got to follow up here.
Oh, yeah, my weekend. Let me tell you my weekend. I want to tell you my weekend, how my weekend was. My weekend started with a lot of disappointment from people that we respect as religious people that are supposed to stabilize the conscience of our people, to make our people think positively. You understand? When I was sitting on a particular platform and listening to a man of God telling the people that God revealed to them that President Weah was sick, is sick, and he asking President Weah supporters and people that love him to pray for him because President Weah is sick. Only to find out a few hours after, President Weah appeared in Morocco and gave a press conference and were received, and he looked energetic, he looked healthy. And I'm wondering, how is God giving these people vision and dreams? Or are they just making up their own things because they hear me in the media? When people throw red meat, they go and lie on God. Why will you bring up political? Anyway, that's my disappointment. That's what I saw this week. And I'm not going to, pin brush all of the religious leaders, but there are people who are constantly lying on God, and it's not good.
Okay.
Just analyze the politics and forget about telling us about God say and God say. That's not good.
All right. We want to try and keep it succinct, very brief, and allow our colleagues to people to respond adequately, give them the chance. We are here to inform, to educate, and exactly that's what we've been doing on this network. Yet that set us apart as the institutions like Public Radio, and we do really appreciate that. By the way, I always get some phone calls from prominent people that I don't even expect, and all is contingent on the kind of conversations, people opinions, people views, analyst views, opinion being expressed, and we value people, but when we disagree, we conduct a civil conversation, and moreover, the tolerance and the of our viewers, our followers, their engagement, we cannot leave them out. The credit also goes to them. So, guys, let's get it rolling. A lot went on. Let's see how we're going to examine some of those talking points. Weton Keto already opened the room, the cam here, and let's see who's going to really start it up here. Let me go to Wilmington, Delaware Valley area. The guy with the plane project, security analyst, Moses Sengwe. Moses, take us through here. What was the key thing that you examined and you want to share with the analysts, and then we can get the ball rolling?
Well, some of the things I want to talk about is the things that it kind of going to what Wilton was saying. I know we were on the air a couple of days ago, and then we had someone come in and said to us, and that tip is there as a proof that we should pray for the sitting president of the Republic of Liberia, because he was sharing on news and it doesn't look good and and say all his thing. These kind of propaganda are not good for our country. It has security implications, and it raises the threat level in the country. As vulnerable as our country is post-war, we cannot begin to use the tactics to kind of promote our own selfish gains, or because and I had no clue that hours before he came on here and made his statement that in fact there were other things being circulated on Facebook about the state of affairs, or the illness of the former president Josh Weah, and there were allegations alleged that he was in intensive care and all of that. I mean, I was just blown away by that.
Okay, let's keep it brief. Let me go to Terry Collins. Terry, let's look in your profile and see what we can examine during the end of the week. And as moving forward, was there anything that needs to go under the microscope to get some of those bacteria out? What have you examined during the weekend you want to share with us?
Well, there are so many things going on and all of that. Everybody have their own thing they say. People say the president went out of the country.
You want to flip your camera? Okay, good. There you go.
People say the president went out of the country and came back with all nothing.
All right, good.
And I thought that was something because I believe that not every time the president leave the country, there was another network that said they're advocating for the president to not leave Liberia. I just laugh. Your poor country, you don't got nothing. How will your president stay in your country and generate money? And this is a respectable movement. The president have to move around. Not every time the president leave the country and go, that means he's coming back with cash money. Comparing President Weah's time to President Boga's time is bizarre. President Weah went to France and got 10 million out of Europe. Saying he got a 10 million euro from France government, what did he achieve? Can $10 million even shake your economy or do anything for the economy? Is that what these guys see this running with to say, oh, President Weah went, he came by, he brought something. So, the politics, they're different. That is the same thing they said when President Boga went to America. President Boga came back, they say he never brought nothing, but they do not see the Millennium Challenge the guests that came to do, to prospect the ground. They also are not seeing the 3 years visa extension. So people who travel, the president traveled to the country to create the avenue, to lay the ground, to restore the image of Liberia so that you can have the opportunity in the future for the country to thrive. So I thought that was something to share because I believe that people need to understand that it's not every time the president leaves the country when they come back, that means they should come back with a whole suitcase full of money.
Okay, that's the beauty of this network. Views and opinions are always welcome. Let's welcome the princess of LPR, the only all the other people that came during election time, they didn't win, they're all gone. They're waiting 2029 again to come back. Koto Jalabalayan is LPR senior analyst based in the Garden City. Good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Sue. Good evening to all of the panelists. Hey, my own brother, Mr. Sigwe, Terrence, the doctor himself.
Yeah, hi.
And it's Edition Keller, man. How you guys doing, man? Look at you crying like a baby for joy. We have been sick.
So you see,
I was like, oh my God, that's
Cotton,
a big deal. Yeah.
I will not
Why
let
are
this
you
one
guys
go.
crying?
I will not let it one go. And before I bring in Dr. Mali, you see, there was a Terry, and you are the Reverend here. Let's see whether you can really look at the scripture here. When it came to Moses' same way, there was a specific description. My own brother, what sort of solidarity? Now, so we are now. They said because we probably not from Lofa
My
ever.
best friend, Mr. So.
Nobody.
My best friend. Hey, you know you my
Now they put your hand always playing because you think now I make you get it playing. And
you know you my best friend. Hey, why you want me to talk about it? You know you my belly. You know you not throw me away. You get new best friends that see that way coming maybe I see now.
let's bring in Dr. George Malley, the one of
No,
the
my best friend, man. You know
all
you
right.
always.
I just kidding. Because I kind
Yeah,
of look
yeah.
I see mostly carrying your shoulder up now. I said, no, I gotta cut it up before you go far.
You
So
gotta bring the man shoulder down, right?
Dr. Malley, let's see what you're examining because when I listen to Keto, the Reverend, these are Tabata people. They all have a side, obviously, so they're going to stand their ground. You remember Mike, the Zamin guy from Florida, stand your ground, Lord. So they're all going to stand their ground to defend, to protect, to do everything. The Keto, he claims to be independent. He's not independent. We have not a commentator in that room, but he tries to make his way. Welcome, a man slide in the house. But look, Dr. Malley, too much going on, and you're going to add a piece to that. But do we really have control over some of these things that happen and what is responsible? What is society we have nowadays? What have you examined during the week? Unmute your mic, please.
First of all, I want to welcome the LPR Queen and my Lofa sister. And I think it's about time that we start toting the traditional line now, because I think it's also part of the intellectualism. And I realize now that on all the platform, if you don't have a Lofa intellectual there, that platform is obviously dead. But thank God LPRC is taking the lead with over 3 Lofian in complete dominance. That's very good news. But not to say the least, I want to go back to my brother Keto, who was just crying wolf here about our ex-president illness. People toting it and begin to make unofficial proclamation all over the place. You see, precedent in politics can be dangerous. If I want to retrospect during the election time, when seditions were told in casket, something that I will never forget, projecting ahead of His Excellency's scheduled time on earth, try to determine his length of longevity. They already classified him as dead and they were carrying his casket. That thing brought tears to my eyes. And I was wondering, is there part of the politics are we talking about now in Liberia? Personalizing things? But to my regret, I never heard any of the hierarchy from His Excellency, ex-president, we are down to Keto, condemning that incident. I never heard it. But equally so, I want to say that bewitching each other is not a good thing. So people who are even sitting there praying for ex-president Weah illness and try to make use of it, frankly speaking, is un-Liberian. Yes, we can't live like that. I don't think it should be part of our politics. A Keto attacked me here today, and he said I should be to his doorstep to get him water to drink. When he I can take him on politically. You see? So in a nutshell, everything we do here, there will be differences at times, but it should not go to the extreme. That is the day to His Excellency, President Bwaka. During those days, it was very, very bad. I couldn't just get over that thing. And it's the same thing again they're doing to this man. All kind of story about him. He's sick. He get kidnapped. All kinds of things. I think it's about time that we really speak to these things, so we let these things get out of our politics. Good. It's not good at all, because what you wish for coincidentally can come to you. You see? So we need to get this thing out of our politics. I don't think it's politics. No, it's being vindictive. That's not politics at all.
Okay. Well, let's turn to the Garden City. I remember now, Terry says snow is falling, so we're going to get some hot pepper to see what I can put some heat in the body. Koto, good evening. It's good to have you. You listen to your colleagues and all of that. Let's see what you have examined. I see you get a little notepad there, so something should be inside there.
No,
How was your weekend?
See, point of correction. I think when you're referring to Koto, listening to people, don't say you listen to the guys. You gotta tell Koto, oh, you just listen to your lover brothers. I think we gotta start making sure that this thing touching down running now.
Oh,
thank you.
Look, you want to form Lofa Association here, eh? Keto, you see, now when you do that, you're going to get in trouble with Keto. Okay, and just how you say, I'm going to do it in obedience. Keto, you listen to your Lord. I don't know how long their friendship will go. We're going to wait and see.
So, my best friend, Raketa can call me midnight. I sleep inside my husband and he call you like, you better don't try that. He's my best friend. Keta, right? Yeah, but my weekend, was great. I just decided to rest this weekend, and it was just a resting moment. Only this evening, I attended to an emergency for like 5 hours and just returned. But it was a cool weekend for me, and it's been a long time. I haven't just stayed home and just rest. Like yesterday, I was just home all day, and that was just a cool weekend for me.
Don't forget to put the other one there. You are just dancing the new Loma song.
Oh yeah, you see our home. So when once you're home, another thing, entertainment, and you saw it. Okay.
Oh,
that's it. Loma song, and that's the challenge we all celebrating it. That's there's a message in that song, it calls for unity. It calls for all, uniting to rebuild, the Lofa that is the bread basket, of Liberia. We used to be, and she still, asking that we can still, regain that title as a bread basket, and also promote good education and promote good health. That is, we all, putting together to get that solved into our country. I think it was a good song. Yeah. And I thought I should be part of, such a song that is promoting.
And that's the people in the diaspora too.
And this is a girl. She is really gifted. You remember when she put together Lomagiti?
Yep.
Yeah, and she was very instrumental in having that occasion successful. And today we have a history of such an occasion that nobody in Lofa have ever, had. And I commend her highly. They try to play politics in it, and today, no one else have ever been able to carry on, such an establishment. And this is where we come as Liberian. We know we can do something, but when somebody is doing something and doing their best in doing it, what they best are doing, we try to criticize. But again, when it's left for us, and we can implement it. And I gave her a hearts up, that she is very gifted, and I wish we could put our hands around her and promote her to some high level where she can put Liberia it is. And sometimes, people are gifted in different areas. That's why we have, failed to realize that era she's good at uniting, and she did it perfectly. You could be educated in her, but you are educated in another level that you can, exhibit your educational level. And she was a little girl. People start saying that, oh, she a little girl. But yes, there's a little girl that put everybody together, united zones and everywhere, every sector, up to the Lomans in Guinea. She crossed even borders and brought the Loma from across border. And that is something that I thought it was nice that you brought it out, that I could really, in a public manner, appreciate her.
Okay. So now there's a solidarity being formed on this, the coalitions of Lofa Solidarity. Keto, Terry, that's from our Southeastern Solidarity, okay?
No, I don't care how you guys put it. That's I think the higher population. I'm not too sure. I think Nima should be the second, but we should. It's just that it have been, a strike test. So, but I think we should be the biggest county, and
No, they're not break also.
that's why I'm saying they're breaking apart now. So it may have reduced, but on that line, you will see even people from Bapolo still have the Lofa connection, and that's how it is. It's a big county, and when you look at it on the educational level, we always carrying the high level of number of education. They always even on the university level in other colleges. I don't know for a few years now, but all alone, Lofa have carried the highest number of educated, people.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much, guys. And this is what we do here. We always have this critical conversation here. Okay, let's get to the reasons for which we are here this evening here. And I really listen to everybody here, but I'm not sure whether we have control over these things and all of that. So let's get to the point here of the conversation here. I'm monitoring here. One of the biggest news was the indictment of the former chief of protocol to the Republic of former chief of protocol to the President Republic of Liberia. Now a warrant of arrest, such and all of that. I'm not sure whether she's in the country. We're hearing she's out of the country. So I'm going to take this one on with the security analyst to tap into his expertise. And we're going to come right back to have this sort of conversation here. Morris.
Yeah.
When one is in, take us into the security war, when someone is indicted, and then we're hearing warrants of arrest, break it down in the simplest context. And when you face an indictment, what is the what is the key thing? What is the central message in there? Alfonso is indicted. What is expected of him?
Well, let me just say this. I'm not sure. I mean, traditionally in the judicial system, what happened is that if you're going to indict a person, you need to make sure to petition the person for the court, and you have evidence that you're going to present to the court to validate why the court needs to indict that person. The investigator need to turn this document over to the Attorney General, who makes the determination as to whether the case is going to hold water before they execute an indictment, either through a court system or they go through the jury of the peers, jury indictment. Now, the other thing is that you cannot indict a person without the evidence, and that person needs to be told that they need to appear in court. There are charges against them, and what have you. So now, based on what we've heard over the past few days in Liberia, as per the asset recovery, I'm not sure if that has been passed over to the AG's office, whether the AG's office has made a determination for the indictment to go to the court for the indictment. You cannot put a warrant out for somebody's arrest or a body of attachment if the person is a peaceful citizen and you have not cited them to the court to listen to charges. We need to be careful on how this process, because it may backfire somehow, some way, for the judicial system, and we want to set precedent. And the law calls for you to first invite that person to answer to the charges. If the person comes and the person is indicted, you put the person out on bail, and if refuse to come to a court hearing, then a body of attachment is issued or warrant is issued for the arrest. So I'm not sure how far they've gone with notifying the accused, and whether the accused has been given the opportunity to come and hear to the charges that were levied against her. So that is basically the procedure from my own estimation and my own experience working with the court system.
Okay, and I think everybody can tap in based on their own experiences here. Let me bring in Dr. Mali, and then Terry going to come in. Dr. Mali, I know it is not your area of expertise, but being around and seeing some of these things being followed here. Is the style being conducted differently in Liberia? And the reason I'm saying that, usually it's in what based on what I'm hearing and what we see here, indictments sometimes come from the DA of, say, the district, the county attorney. After all of the internal investigations, they have enough reason for which they can call you in. But what we saw happening during the week was more or less having Fenabodo convicted, because the Councilor Wilson deployed some words in the indictment process. They are criminal and all of that. Does that undercut the investigations, or is he coming to a conclusion because it is the DA to lay out those charges and reason why the indictment? Being indicted does not mean you are convicted. They are calling you in to go through. Perhaps I'm running ahead of my shadow here. What is your take on that?
Well, at least we forget. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. You can remember some time ago, Finabono issue came up some time ago, and it went down. And from my understanding, to have an indictment going, it does not contain circumstantial evidence. You must have hard evidence. And I want to believe strongly, when Finabono issue came out sometime this year, early this year, I want to believe the security have been doing some investigation. I want to believe strongly. Yes. And they might have come to the conclusion that they have got hard evidence, and they present this thing to the judge, and the judge set a grand jury that will be convinced by this evidence and authorize an indictment. Yes. So there must be some hardcore evidence for which someone is indicted, or even a warrant is given for the search of their premise or their offices and other things. But like the security analyst said, the premise starts from a thorough investigation. You see, to feed the judicial section that we have to, because you have to convince a judge, you see, and you are convincing a judge on the basis of hard evidence that there's a need to seize the person's passport. They are fly risk. They could leave the country anytime, or we could search their apartment. And these are the evidences. And so I believe the investigation has been going on for a long time, because Finabono case, this is not the first time it coming up. I think earlier this year it came up and it just went down. And I believe since then, up to today, the people have been investigating, and I think they have got some hardcore evidences that is above circumstantial evidences. This is what I want to believe, for which the grand jury has authorized an indictment.
Okay. Terry, let me bring you into this conversation here. It's good to have this sort of conversation here. Do you think, and based on what we are hearing and reading so far, and what front page is reporting now, I tell you, a report or warrant of arrest, uh, meaning they have something good. They have talked to people of interest who may be people that are much closer to her, or they are gathered some information. How important, how serious is this? Is this going to be one of these indictments where people are indicted and then out of the sudden the case submerged and we can't get anything? How serious is it, and how do you think it's being processed by people on the other side? Because the narrative that you're going to be hearing, witch hunt, witch hunt.
Well, Mr. So that is what it is. The people on the other side, which happens to be the opposition, will always cry witch hunt, and they will try to defend their people. But if it is glaring to the public that these allegations have some backing of truth, the cry for witch hunt will be meaningless. Witch hunt can only be initiated if and only if the allegations levied against a person is not really there. You know, you're just trying to hustle the person, to move the person from a position, or to keep the person suppressed. And the public will see the evidence that nothing here. But from what we're seeing here, from all of what Clamartin jotted and projected on the post there, is it left for them to go and argue the case. An indictment is a draw up allegation against a specific individual, you know, so they have not a proof of guilt yet, but over time, if they have a strong case, they could do just that. But yeah, obviously the opposition will cry witch hunt, and that's politics. They will talk politics in it, and myself too. We will talk politics here the other day. But the truth of the matter here is that were these properties gotten the right way? You know, were they gotten the right way? All those monies and all these things, all these documents that were signed, all these fake companies that were instituted, you know, to collect money from the finance ministry, were they true that this company collect this money? Is it authentic? All of that, so the Liberian people can see it clearly. So even if they're wrong with witch hunt, once we can see the evidence and trace it, the accusation will be meaningless.
I'm going to reserve the reaction / independent Kato, not Kato, Kato to this here. Kato, let me just bring you in here. Is there something that you think that was expected? Is a surprise or surprising something based on what we've been seeing happening? Like we saw, it came out certain time, it went quiet. Are you surprised this time around to get to this point?
No, I'm not. I'm not surprised. And this is a mandate actually that we, before electing President Barker, we gave to him to conduct investigations. And because these things were, widespread, and we saw from time immemorial of this administration, we saw how, transactions, were carried on. I'm an accountant, and I know when it comes to transaction, when it comes to project, I done project with government and done project with NGOs, and we know how these things go about. When fund get into the account of a project, if you think it is the project, it does not just live in a box like that, or even a day like that. There is nowhere except in Liberia. And even in Liberia, I work with NGO there, and work with government sectors in collaboration. It was never like that. You don't disburse funds like that. There is nowhere in financial setting and you see, phones being disbursed and transaction being directly into personal accounts and things. So I know right now, I think what the physician should be doing now is to join, with the investigation team to make sure that whatever fund was taken from this government, from the previous government, be brought back, that we all can benefit. Today they are all crying for no job, no job. I see this amount that we're taking off, if job opportunity were provided for our people where this amount will be distributed to them, I think we are giving a greater help to our people in Liberia than personal account, being handling, or individual handling, or even if it is 10 persons handling such an amount. It doesn't really work well for the Liberian people. I think they should start taking this. Let's take politics out of this, and let's retrieve these properties. I don't care. Yes, we even hear that we are being paid weekly or bi-weekly. It's impossible to just get a property in that manner in a short period of time. Many are been paying horses. You see, been 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years. You see people take like total, even I don't know, 10, 15 years to complete just one house. Then you see in a period of 6 years, somebody have acquired such high amount of huge amount of property. It worth investigating. And I think we should take politics out of it. I know they will say witch hunt. It is only a witch that is being hunted. So if it is a witch hunt, okay, then we agree that where fire is, where they say where smoke is, there where fire, can come. And I think that's why for me, let the investigation go on, let them stop politicizing it, and we make sure to find the bottom. And I mean, that's why the investigation is there. Go. If you are not guilty, exonerate yourself. I think that's why she shouldn't be running away, but come and exonerate herself, because this is an issue that might, trace her until her life. You might say it would take long to be investigated, but I don't care how long it takes, it will be investigated. They tried to hold it when it first started with seizing the vehicles. They tried to put a halt to it. And what happened? Most of the vehicles now, they went and sold most of those properties, those vehicles, and tried to change it in other people's names and titles. So it ain't worth it at all. We all are, affected in this way. Even seditions, they are even, hurting this most than we who were not, seditions.
All right. So, Kato, there's a reason you were reserved in this year, because that was one of the, I know that is obviously in. We are getting a lot of unconfirmed reports. There are a lot of much bigger names in the 40 to be dropping, though it's yet to be verified. But some of those names seems to still be the strong hierarchy confidant of the former president. That will looks like, in the eyes of the public, in the eyes of the public, something is unusual. The war, which home will come in. But when people have doubt, they have the right to ask questions. What do you think here, Keto? What is happening in the war with the CDC as a main opposition? The fact of the matter here, Finabono is former chief protocol to the president, is one of the closer aide to the president who travels and stuff like that. So I begin to forecast now, how far will this thing go? Is the former president aware of all of these things? If not, when he got to know, what was her, well, at the time she occupied this thing here? And a lot of things people going to be perhaps be subpoenaed to testify and all of that. We are hearing some more Wolokoli, a lot of people names still in the air and top sedition. Do you think do you agree with those on the outside? Now you are analysts here. Let's get your honest opinion here. Is it applicable to witch hunt, or is the law the people doing their work?
So obviously, it's witch hunt. So by the way, it's all alleged. So when I see people being definite, like Koto, she signed just like the Irish man who called somebody criminal. We're all going through court process. Terry said this thing is a draw up allegation, indictment, whatever it is. But you already call somebody criminal. You call the property rotting property. You understand? You order for the arrest. We all even go to court. You arrest and you put it in jail. The security analyst said, no, you don't do that. You get the opportunity to go to court. And let the court decide. But I see Cotto and all the other people drawing conclusion that this woman is a criminal. She says 6 years. Finabono worked in charge of the government in the political office. Finabono also worked in Ellen Johnson government in the political office. Then she went to doing her business. Finabono, before coming to government position, Finabono was one of George Weah trusted person that he would give a lot of money to do things for him in Liberia, and even establish a business way back before President Weah came into politics. Finabono had been doing business. For somebody to acquire money in Liberia, then you ask Musa Belete, because Musa Belete was changing money on the street in Monrovia, money changer. But today Musa Belete worth over 40 million Liberian dollar. So did he steal that money? All right, Benina Ure did nothing in Liberia. Benina Ure got a lot of property in Liberia. Did he steal the money? Joseph Boaga just came to office. He paid him a $10 million mansion in Foya that they lie and say is for Mana River. They lie. It's a government project. It's a presidential project. Everything going back and forth. Is it true? These are all allegations until they go to court and they find her guilty of what they accuse her of. You cannot come on this platform and tell somebody guilty. We talk about responsibility. Mr. Moses Sibe said on this platform, it's a decent platform. I see the doctor. I see you as a nurse, and also you say you're an accountant. I see the man of God whose integrity was supposed to stick out high. You understand? Come on this platform and spill out tapata. Yeah. Somebody being accused, and then you say the person is a criminal. How the person acquire all these things in 6 years? Are you kidding me? The woman has been doing her business from time immemorial. So let me ask a question, and it's just a rhetorical question I'm asking. Yeah, right? So if somebody doing business and put money and they get money from the business doing it in the account and they withdraw the money from the account, is that somebody's business? For me to, I will draw how much I want to draw from my account. Is that somebody's business to tell me how much I can draw? I mean, can draw and deposit, or is that somebody's business? In that, so my thing is, I think once social media, especially Spoon, start to question Joseph Boakai' ability to hold people responsible for alleged corruption as he campaigned, and it has been bashing him so bad, his people came out to say, okay, now we will show it what we said we would do during the election campaign. We'll show them, and they knee jerk and they start doing things. But that whole case, we're gonna come back here and find out that they got no case against Fina. Just how the government now, when they carry Summer Tour go to court, the government can tell the prosecutor can say we ready yet, they'll postpone it. Each time they take into court, they have all the evidence. They wanted to put Summer Tour in Chin and put in jail. Summer Tour in Liberia, he never left Liberia. For each time they go to court, the government postponed the case because the government got no evidence against Summer Tour. So at this point, Mr. So, I'm telling you, it's proper for us to use the word alleged instead of characterizing people as criminals.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, in the interest of fairness, specific names of the analysts were called in by independent/Weashin/ CDC Daha Wharton Kettle. By the way, Kettle, I mean, he looked like a real Chitama or what I call this evening here. I think you yourself ago. But let me bring it back.
See, okay, give me 30 seconds. So I made a correction here. Okay. This is what the white man wrote. When someone is indicted, it means a grand jury has determined there is enough evidence to formally accuse them of crime and proceed with persecution. An indictment is a formal written accusation that officially charges a person with a crime. Thank you.
Mr. So, since you made that clarification, can you give me 30 seconds?
Hold on. We're not going to be boring time here. Hold on.
This was not written in Liberia. This written by our fathers, the white people.
Mr. So, can I have a 30 second?
I just reading it. Yes. So
you call Koto, let Koto to come in after Dr. Mali. Let's do it one.
Look, but he asked for 30 seconds. I don't think you are going to. Can I get 30 seconds? Because I said it. Can I get 30 seconds?
Okay. There's one captain in there's a the core pilot can only intervene when the pilot is unable to come in. So right now I am piloting this plane here. We're going to review your 30 seconds, but let's just Dr. Mali, you done?
Yes,
because we're doing it here. We don't want to do it like the other people here. We got to, we got to contain ourselves and let people respond to issue one at a time so that the audience can get a takeaway. But you're gonna get your 30 seconds. Hold your peace. Koto, you said nice accounting and
so like Kenneth know I have a BBA degree in accounting. And I work as accountant and I go into the level of account manager. I manage what they call an account with a whole NGO. And besides, I work with MOH rehabilitation project to get your clarity. It is not only by saying, it is my career. So to get that correct. And I came here and I did nursing. And besides, I get a master's degree in political science. I did international relations and political science. So get it right.
We got a whole master of your degree, I beg you.
So quickly here, I'm going to go back to Keto.
So let me tell you, when I want to talk on something, I must know about that particular event. If I don't know, I tell you I don't know. I will be one of those, what they call people judgment, but this is something I know of. There is no accounting process. The money hit the account and just get out of the account like that.
Okay, quickly.
I want to see it that way.
Okay, before I go,
I did not say she was hair liable. I said she should go and exonerate herself. So you should get things when you try to put people in things. Listen when they're saying something.
So quickly, quickly, I want to go to Mr. Collins too. So from what I'm hearing, there was no voucher to this thing. Is that the case? Is that what raises the red flag or something?
Yeah, when you carry on a transaction, there should be a documentation, expenditure documentation attached to the fund you disburse. So if you just took a money and then transfer it without any transaction stating that indeed this was what you expended, it is a problem.
Okay. All right. I just want
so then you can't. That is something you don't know. Don't argue with me. I'm telling you, go and see the expenditure attached to it, and then when they bring the expenditure, how they expend the money, and then it's clear. That's why I said let her go ahead and generate herself. That could be another form of accounting that I'm not aware of, because accounting, those are things that change overnight or system change. Probably the system they are using is a new system that I don't know of. But if it is fund is disbursed, you have to attach an expenditure to the fund that you are requested for, or a pro forma or whatever request was made to that amount should be attached to the amount that was requested for. So okay. I'm looking forward to that,
All right.
looking forward.
You know, she says she should have a day in court. I don't think
Yes.
it was a judgment so to that. But Collins, you know what I noticed here, they try to take advantage of you being a spiritual guy, so anybody can dump the kitchen sink on you and say, "No, man of God can talk," but you're not a man of God that can hold back. So, Keto, you saw how Keto put you in the glass building and then later on unveiled it and allowed people to demolish it. Do you want to respond to him before I bring him in?
Well, there's no need to respond to Keto on those kind of trivial matters because obviously it's a weak position, you know. But I wanted to respond to something that I'm reading here in regards to the indictment. All right. It says in Liberia, right? The procedure is managed by the Ministry of Justice and involves several stages leading to a formal charge. Unlike the US, for the US, there's a grand jury. For Liberia, you don't need a grand jury. All right. A complainant regarding an alleged crime is typically made to a magistrate or justice of the peace. So you complain the person to the magistrate court or the justice of the peace, and then the examination, it says the magistrate or justice of the peace examine the complaint and any witness on an oath and record the testimony in writing. Then an arrest is made. So what it's saying is that it is the responsibility of the justice, you know, the Chief Justice or the Ministry of Justice in collaboration with the magistrate court that will issue a writ if they examine the complaint that there's an allegation level against the accused. If there's an allegation level against the accused, then what the asset recovery team doing? The asset recovery team is working in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice and the magistrate court to draw up the indictment. So this indictment, I don't believe from what I'm reading here that it was drawn up from a grand jury. I want to believe it is the Ministry of Justice in collaboration with the asset recovery team that is prosecuting this particular crime.
Okay, let me make Keto to respond, and I want to bring in Moses in a specific thing what this guy his land that he's pushing. Keto, these are hard pushback coming to you.
Koto, I didn't disparage your educational credential. Don't go there with me because you don't even know my educational credential, and I will not boast about it on this show.
You're not asking about yours.
Hold on. So hold on. You're talking. I didn't talk. So I didn't disparage nothing. I just said when we come on this platform, Mr. Moses said it's a platform that disseminated information. We should be true and transparent to the information. We should be responsible on how we say things on this platform. My premise are made. Now, I'm going to the doctor. You read something that you say the white man wrote, and now you read it, that the white man wrote it. We all borrowing from the white man knowledge. The white man say accuse. Accuse is an allegation. Accuse is not a fact. You only find out a fact when you go through the court of competent jurisdiction, and the court will find you either guilty or they will acquit you for no evidence. So until the court can find Fina Bono guilty, she is an accused. She's not a criminal. And that's what I try to exhibit here on this show. So I don't know where you guys come from, you know, and think that some of us ate our school fees. No, we didn't. Thank you.
So Moses,
yeah,
let me tap into you here based on what Terry was saying here. And sometimes things are done differently because of the law, even though all of our thing is fast out of what the system that we have here. But usually indictment cases are very huge cases. More or less the government, the DA, and all of those people are informed. I didn't see the DA standing side by side with the this commission. It comes back to sometime when the police or these major conferences, because these things are well coordinated. So it can have a way, not just only have a way to give a presentation that due diligence was done before coming into the public domain. Now, this commission, this guy, honestly, he made some regular statement which can undercut the argument of the government by calling people criminal when he has just completed committee completed his work. It is the DA to make that pronouncement. These are reasons, blah, 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 for which this person was indicted. You do your committee. So is that a surprising thing? What is going on here? The DA was not there. We didn't see authority from the Ministry of Justice, even though it might be an autonomous agency doing her work. But in the absence of the relevant agency, if you have in the Canada, don't you think it make the case difficult for the prosecutor to come to this sort of when the real time comes? Because
Well,
they're going to use their own tip.
Mr. So, if you can recall in previous platform, I made reference to exactly what you're saying. Our people tend to be overzealous, maybe, or they tend to think that it's important for their faces to be put on a particular case or incident. So the rush to having press conferences. And when you indict them, when this is for a case like this, if I were in the position in Liberia, I would make sure that all the legal players are present. Because one of the things is that they take advantage of the ignorance and the ignorance of our press. And that those press people in Liberia don't ask the pertinent questions. You see, you got to understand. I don't want to compare Liberia here because people kind of say this is not right. But if we're going to do things the right way, there are people who work with the press who are legally informed, who are lawyers, and know the kind of questions to ask. Do we have the press code that has that? Or can they do research to make sure that if they've been called to go for such press conference, what appropriate questions to ask? And people take advantage of the ignorance of our press in Liberia. Let me say this. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court does not get involved with any case until that case has been adjudicated by the lower court and appealed, and the appellate court system is put in place. I don't know why people think they can go straight to the Supreme Court and file the case. I don't know what kind of practice is that. That's boycotting a whole lot of other proceedings. I said earlier here that any criminal matter has to go through the Ministry of Justice, through the DA or the Solicitor General, who is the chief interpreter of our Constitution, to determine whether that case can hold, whether the evidence presented can hold water. Because they don't want to be caught with their pants down too. And that takes a while for them to do that. The only thing is that if you arrest someone on the scene of a crime, you cannot hold them over 72 hours while you make that decision to either prosecute or not prosecute. If you cannot find the evidence on the person, that person needs to be released from prison. Then they're no longer a prisoner. And Carter said something. We talked about the guilt and innocence of people. No one under an indictment is guilty. That's why when you go for an indictment, they ask you, what do you plead? And you plead not guilty, the reason they release you on your own recognizance, if they're going to set bail for you based on the magnitude of the crime, they do that. On an indictment, those evidence are presented. As Terry stated, they have the indictment process where to go through the district judges and all these people. We understand that. But there is a proceeding that the evidence has to be given, not a grand jury indictment. And that judge better know exactly what he's doing to indict the person that, yes, in fact, there's a case there that can be presented, but that person, fundamental rights need to be respected as innocent until proven guilty. It's not the person who's going to go and exonerate themselves. They're accused.
So, okay, hold on here. Let's digress here a little bit here.
Yeah, let me just say this real quick. The person accused does not exonerate themselves. The burden is on the prosecutor to prove the person's guilt. Let's get that straight.
So the missing, and then the missing piece here, because this thing kept recurring and it gives us a headache. And I agree with you. And what I told one of our colleagues, I said sometimes But again, it is probably these people muscle. I'm not sure they muscle the press because people can ask questions. There's no any predetermined question. But sometimes I don't know whether they get carried away or they don't listen because they need to be asking some really open-ended questions that will make them to explain. So because the reason they are there, number the four is to educate the public as well, so that people will be able to do away with too much of public opinion here. Now, this consistent habit, we saw that within the arson case where the police chief overran the fire chief to maybe, because when we see it here, this sort of comparison is hard, but you see all of these things when it happen, they are detachment, they are agency, each responsible. This one will come and talk their own piece. This one will come and talk their own piece. This one will come. And the reason that is done is as for the government to have a coherent message that all agencies relevant to this whole particular case, they are coordinating into this conversation and not just one agency taking dominance so as not to be seen as different thing here. But Koto wanted to come in here. Koto.
No, quite excellent point.
Yeah.
Koto, 1 second. Excellent point. And that's why I always say why individuals having press conference. It was premature. And that's the threat of really going through the court system and doing this. And that's why last week I said we got to wait and see how this is going to unfold. For him alone to come and speak and make all these allegations, making, alleging criminality and all that stuff with that, and having the evidence, if you have the evidence and you're going to do certain things, the Attorney General office should be the one overseeing the press conference, because they're the one who's going to go before the judge to convince the judge that they have evidence to find this person guilty, not someone who's investigating. And that's the mistake that is constantly doing. And that's why most of our cases are always pending. How many cases they have over there that are pending? Because when they start, the proceeding starts wrong, and then they get stuck somewhere. Oh, but the other person, we need the other department to come in to provide this evidence. No, we're not there. Then I want you. And I can literally see the fight among these people, and they prolong the cases from going through.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, Koto, let's go. I know we don't have Koto, you want to say
Yeah,
something?
I was just, I don't know whether, you guys, but I've been trying to check it up. But I thought they gave them prosecutor, I think it was part of their mandate or the anti-corruption unit, but I'm not quite sure. I tried to check it out, but I think they said it was amended during the weird time to give them a prosecutorial power.
Can I just give that information, Koto? Is the
Sorry?
assets recovery, the asset recovery got no prosecutorial power, only LACC.
Okay, so that's why I wanted to find out, because I was like confused
So
about
that's
it.
the problem. Even what Mr. Sick was saying. How can you even order somebody to be arrested when you got no prosecutorial power? How can you do that?
Yeah, so that I didn't know. So I was thinking, I'm confused on which one of them have that power. So that's why I wanted to just find out.
So now,
CEO. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Dr. Mala.
Yeah, I don't want to believe this guy that get a press conference did it single-handedly. These are very sensitive things that involve collaboration. So he just going there. I disagree that he just went there, stand up because he got a more to talk and he wanted to talk. Maybe he might have misspoken on so many other things. But I think the bottom line here is that we do not really know the detail how indictment are formulated in Liberia. No, that source is not really there. What about grand jury or the magistrate or the justice ministry? I don't think we have that details. Let me be very frank with you. What I read is from the white man perspective. You see, I know the grand jury have been involved some other time in Liberia or some other issues. So I don't think we really have that details. exactly how grand jury are formulated in, how indictment are formulated to bring someone into perspective and charge them with a crime. I don't think we really know that detail yet. I don't think.
Dr. Mali, on the flip side, what we are saying, and to say that.
Can I come in quick, Mr. So?
Yeah, 1 second, then tell you. Yeah, 1 second. With that, we didn't see it being illustrated. Maybe they talk to them, they have a conversation, no doubt about it. We don't see it being illustrated. And the reason we're saying that is that when you see this sort of in order to make it to have a weight, all parties involved, representatives somehow, some way, they must be present in that joint. So each one speaks on his or on a piece as to how they arrived at that. That was the point I was making.
Okay, if that
is the DA part of this? We don't know because we didn't see the DA there. So you can't tell us it's there. If you are in there, maybe the media will have the opportunity to ask questions, right, Moses? That did not happen.
That's what I'm saying. We also don't know whether there were behind the scene collaboration. We also just don't know.
So
we also don't know. So we can't be emphatic.
Guys, can we do it one at a time?
So we can't be emphatic to draw that conclusion that he alone went standing there. You don't know. We don't know why.
He was not present at the conference. So why would we say? Why should the public should be done behind the scene?
No. Matter. We can discuss it, and I become the spokesperson. Like for instance, the issue of the indictment. Okay, there are no clear-cut clause to tell me how indictment are drawn in Liberia. They are the connecting thing, maybe from the magistrate or the justice ministry or the solicitor general. There's nothing clear there.
That
we can even make a resource reference to. No, not at all.
One of information.
So because I wanted to make a point there.
Yeah, so let's do it one at a time. After Terry, then I come to you. Mostly just hold your peace. Let's see whether the Reverend going to bring something from the scripture.
Dr. Mali, the information about indictment is in the panel law of Liberia. Go and check for it. It's there. It's in the panel law. Don't say it's not there. The man don't even have to go to the Ministry of Justice. The law say either the magistrate court or the Ministry of Justice. So probably the man went to the Ministry of Justice, and the Ministry of Justice will examine the complaint brought there to see whether if the complaint is what to be, given credence to draw an indictment. And it is upon that complaint, the magistrate court will be able to draw an indictment to issue an arrest. It is the indictment now that will give the asset recovery the power to issue an arrest through the magistrate court. It's the magistrate court that is going to issue the indictment.
The panel law says?
Yeah, but
it's in the panel law, and it is either the magistrate court.
Law says, I just asking a simple question.
He just told you yes.
I just told you yes. It's in our panel law.
Which section of the panel law says?
Oh my God! Don't do that, Mr.
Dr. Mali, go and do your research.
People are listening to the conversation.
This is not a.
All right.
This is not a.
People are listening to the conversation.
When you guys do this,
I'm looking at it right now.
To be authentic here. All right. Panel law. Which section of the panel law? Quote the panel law. What are you talking about?
Now you see your gift catcher a room now. He fold his hand, and when I'm not going to allow him to speak because Keto now going to unleash here this evening, and that's not. I don't want to do that today. It's Sunday. Yeah, what you say? Let's go to Koto. Terry, you done?
Yeah, no problem. There you go ahead.
No, go. I mean, your point. We don't leave things in people's mind yet. Is it true? I don't know where this whole divided role came from. You make Keto to be looking at you now, because he's going to come with real Tabata now. You're giving your legs to really fire. Yeah, you said what a panel law says?
Yeah, nothing. Oh, okay. I thought it was me.
Keto, he get nothing. The indictment you're talking about. The man he get indictment, he was saying he issued an arrest for Finabono. There's an indictment order that the man got from the court.
See. That's why I'm saying here.
Upon that indictment, he will issue an arrest on Finabono and the people that have formed that are all embedded in that indictment. there's an
So Terry,
indictment
can I
that
ask
they
a
ask
question
for
to
the
you?
court.
No, hold on. No, let it finish your point. That quarter will come mostly.
So I don't understand what you're
We
talking
almost
about.
out of
The man got
time.
the legal right to issue to arrest Finabondo. He got a right to do it because
Yeah,
there's an
I see
indictment
here,
of
it's
the court
here
has
that
gone down on the arrest.
the court has ordered law enforcement agency to arrest all the accused individuals.
Simple. So why would come and be making noise
So
running
I
all
don't
over
know,
the
and
place?
it is here. So the argument about not knowing what it is, for me, that's why I say if I don't know something, I will ask. Like I was asking which one of them giving the prosecutorial power. I didn't know it, so I asked. But what I'm seeing here, they have been indicted and they have been presented to, I think, criminal court C for prosecution.
Yes.
So it's here. And they say, in addition, the court authorized such and seizure operation.
Yeah.
So it's here. So we're not just jumping on and say, from the sky and just conclude on, but that's what here. And to this point, they are even prohibited Bondo's property in Christopolis, Brewerville, Rehab, Pinsville, Berlin, Francis, Blamo, Marshall, and all of the areas. They are put all operation on a halt, and she's indicted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's hear you. We are already, the clock is not in our favor. So, who is kicking the can down the road here? What is the missing piece here? I'll reach out to someone then to see with legal mind to see what we can do.
Well, my only reaction to it now, moving forward, having heard what Cotto said, that means the process have already taken its course during the system. If they already have issued a search and seizure and arrest, that means the indictment went through with the evidence that were presented to the courts. And if they refer to court C, that means the indictment was already done with the presence of the accused. Because I'm not sure if everyone is entitled to due process. And what I understand, what I learned is that, and saw, during my experiences working with the AG's office, is that when you're issuing an indictment, the whole parties and the evidence are brought in. Once that person is indicted, all the documents are passed over to, all evidence that you're going to use in court is passed over to the person's attorney. So during an indictment, they ask you, do you have an attorney? And we're going to indict you on this and this. How do you plead? You plead not guilty. You plead, if you plead not guilty, they'll tell you, okay, you got the right to have an attorney, X, Y, and Z, and what have you. But pre-trial, before pre-trial, you need to, the prosecutory team needs to pass over to you all the evidence they're going to use against you. That way you're going to poke hole to create unreasonable doubt.
Quickly before I go to Keto here.
Yeah.
I've been saying maybe out there in the public domain, but I'm not saying any statement coming from Madam Finabono or her legal team.
Exactly.
In the absence of the legal team for her being silenced,
Uh-huh.
what is happening behind the scene?
I think she's handling the indictment on her own. If they sent for her arrest, that means that there's other actions being taken because she has now adhered to what the court have been asking her to do. Now, when you get indicted, if they release you on your own reconnaissance, and I think Molly brought us something earlier, Dr. Molly, about this case being going on a long time. I remember the case going on a long time before. Maybe that was part of the proceedings moving forward. And if she has not adhered to some of the things that the court want her to do, then they can issue a body of attachment or a warrant for her arrest and what have you. And I'm not sure if all the people, the accused, will issue such a warrant for their arrest. But I think it's primarily on her because she's the appointed person that the case started on, and they've already discovered other people around there. And that's the only thing I can estimate at this time. But once someone is indicted, there's certain steps that you need to take under the court process to prove you're innocent. And if you're not adhering to it, then they issue an arrest warrant for you.
Keto?
Yes. So also, Mr. Moses, the security analyst, you are quite correct. Unfortunately, those things that you just analyzed from what Cotto read did not really happen. Finabona is not even Liberia. Finabona is out of the country. This indictment just came recently. So they never asked her to come to court to read an indictment before the court. You understand? There's nothing was shared with her lawyer. The police,
How do you know?
Finabona is not in Liberia.
I know she's not in, but what I'm saying, how do you know that there was no some sort of electronics conversation? I mean, I'm just
How will you do the code through electronic conversation? How will you do that?
Was she
Indicting
restricted from traveling out?
She was not restricted from traveling out of Liberia. It means that she was not in Liberia, because if she were in Liberia when the indictment came, she wouldn't have left Liberia. All right. So she was not she was indicted while outside of Liberia. All right. And then they court ordering for her arrest. These are accusations against her. So you can hold her property, you can put her to whatever she's doing, but you cannot order for her arrest. You can invite her to the court and let her have a day in court and then go through the process. But I think the government knee-jerk. I think this thing will backfire on them big time. And you will see what come right here. What I'm saying here is that we should be careful. We should not be using or campaign rhetoric to run our government. These are all talks that were doing the campaign when people said they will indict, they will arrest former government officials for stealing money. They will do this, they will do that. And almost 2 years, they cannot indict one person or they cannot arrest one person for corruption. So when the big promoter Spoon come and start bashing them, they gotta do something. Going on 2 years, no arrest. They gotta do something because the narrative changing on them. What you say you will do it. So now they're doing it and they're gonna backfire in their faces. Let me tell you that the last arrest, the arrest team on President Weah, those guys went Arthur Johnson, Serena Seaforth, and the then Justice Minister. They had to sit and analyze all of the indictment, the audit that they had on deck. They collected some of the few ones that were there. They contacted the individuals. They talked to those people. The first person they talked to was the former defense minister. When they told him about the case, he told them he had no money to take him to court. That's how they took the case to court. But most of the people they talked to, they said they were making how they call it, restitution. They pay up to now. They still paying Liberian government money. People who were found guilty in some of the cases, because they said to prosecute those people, the Liberian government would spend more money than the money the people stole. Some other people stole like 200,000, 100,000, 40,000. To go carry the people to court, the government will pay more money than that. So what they told the people, you will make restitution. You will pay the money back to government. And that's what they agree on. Now, it's not a bad thing to put people in jail to set a precedent, but do it the right way. Don't wish on people. Do it the right way. So my thing is, are you going to go after the so-called $10 million, the fortress in Foya? Are you going to go after that? Because government lied all over the place. Nobody know where's the money coming from. The government lied. The press secretary to the president lied. The information minister lied. Nobody knows where the money coming from. Are you going to prosecute or what his name or Amu Moda that resigned because he and the LA boss? Are you going to prosecute them? Are you going to prosecute other people who are found in this government and in the cookies jar that we're not even hearing the name? Are you going to do that? Go ahead and do a holistic, asset recovery. And Terry, the asset recovery team is not responsible to indict anybody. It is the Ministry of Justice, the court system, responsible for that. The asset recovery make recommendation based on the investigation on the asset they feel that somebody acquired illegally, and they take it to the justice, and the justice draw whatever they can draw. But for the man to come out and make the announcement like he the one arresting people, it was wrong. It was wrong. And that's what Mr. Sickman said. There should be the DEA should be there the district attorney should be there, maybe the justice minister, maybe somebody from the court system or the police director, somebody will be there to give these information instead of the asset recovery boss who himself is in a corruption scandal because two of his staff resigned from the team and said he stole some of the money that was given to them. How can you use 900,000 to put billboard up? 900,000 United States dollars to put billboard up for asset recovery. Get 900,000. That's a lot of money. So how can you use that? And they resign. Is he going to go through investigation? So we should be careful how we do the thing. I believe that thing is witch hunt. It's going to blow back right in the faces. And I'm not against asset recovery. I want people to be responsible. They should bring those stolen assets back to Liberia. It can be whoever, I don't care, but do it the right way. Thank you.
Do it the right way. We're going to get a most take home here. The government of Liberia really does have the history of delaying cases, and the Chief Justice said that because of the docket pre-trial cases, the docket is just overcrowded. Now, what is the fear now? The team came out, 40 people, everybody holding their breath. I want to know tonight. I want to know tomorrow. I don't know about you. The public want to know who are those other 40s to be indicted. That is a very interesting thing to know. As we go home, nobody knows what's going to pop up tomorrow. Liberia always full of surprises every night, every evening. Who knows by the time we get all here, some kind of news going to come up, going to be scrambling all here again. What would you be looking forward to seeing in the coming week? And what are your expectations after we sound all here? I hope one of the commission going to come out with about 40 names. And how soon? Because the proclamation is out there already. What people, the public will want to know. I don't know why nobody asked that question, why those other names were withheld, for what reason. But I think I did hear you saying they're doing investigation. If they're doing it, if it is inconclusive, do not put it up. When it's conclusive, you unveil it. I mean, we want to try buying our plane now, and they shouldn't make most of the plane project to go away. But guys, let's wrap up here. Time caught up with us here. We try to make up the time that we lay here. Usually we are here 10 o'clock here. So yeah, but quickly here, who wants to go first? What are you hoping seeing in the coming week?
Let me go first.
Let me go.
Okay, go first. Go ahead.
So I hear everybody saying that they want prosecution. But if they touch Mr. A, they say which one? They touch Mr. B, they say which one? I don't know which one is not which one.
Are you going first? If you finish talking, you're going to go. No,
I'm going. I'm finished talking, I'm gone.
Oh.
Touch Mr. A, he said I wish on. Mr. B, I wish on. So I don't know who going to really hold responsible for all of the corruption that have been going on. Or it's like people just sat in place and told Finabono, go and take the money so we can arrest you. You know, when you're saying somebody wish harm, it's the person have done their own self thing, doing her own business, and they went to her business and claimed. This is a government money we are talking about. And you say the person, the woman is not indicted. It's criminal code C that had carried on the indictment. The judge is Judge Feckett that carried on the indictment. And even the seizure of the property and confiscation, all of these things are going on until the investigation can be conducted. And it's the court. So are you going to tell the court they are doing the wrong thing? You can go and counteract the court. So the seizure here came out just to make the pronouncement of what they have done. It's not the court process was just completely different from theirs. When he was interviewed on Thursday, what he said was this, is that all of the questions they are asking them, let it be done in a court. If he start to explain all of this, then what are they going to court for? So these are the issues. If you think you have questions with all of what he stated, go to the court and listen to the hearing. Then you have problem with the hearing, we can take it all you want to carry out to, because everything, the cases, when they accuse and indict, then the next thing they say, they go to Supreme Court. All of the cases, that's why I have been delaying this whole case from the onset. When they started it, the first thing they said they were going to Supreme Court, they left the whole 9 months. In the process of the Supreme Court, that's when they started selling most of the assets.
Let's leave it there.
Okay, so we want to investigate. Let us be aside, take it aside, and not talk about Wishon. If the person is exonerated, they are exonerated.
Okay, thank you.
Let's take the Wishon out. Thank you, God. Good night, and have a pleasant day.
Where you going?
Don't run. You see,
No, but I'm running.
no. We have to address that. But
Yeah, but I said that's when it come. I want you stop me from talking.
But
So
you're not supposed to do that.
we have a corner time.
can I come to leash us on same thing? And when I said back, we don't talk about your educational background. Did I question your educational background? You question mine. So I have to tell you yours. You know, I have to tell you.
Relax.
I see where Keto, you need to start calling the woman midnight. So all the things like all to do.
I come in call. I was supposed to go to Blata.
I want to do anything. I learn it. I go and learn it. Anything you hear me talking
Come in
about,
call
I
your phone.
know
Be
it.
talking.
I know
Ain't
it.
talking. Be talking. I come in call your phone.
Let me make this thing here quickly. As we all know, one of our own, the Liberal Progressive son, other son passed. Shortly we announce as soon as we get that consent, but funeral arrangements are already in place in the making. Omen mom each night he won't come back. Doing he not coming back, so he not happy. He not happy with me. But they are doing everything. He's doing okay. We start receiving initial contribution. Dr. Mali is already waiting. We're not going to protest. We know things, a lot of things going. But just in case anybody who wants to reach, and not just going to analyze our follower, who wants to show stand with the liberal in solidarity, just reach out to me. We start receiving initial contribution. Dr. Malik Kikyo, I just wanted to let everybody know. Quickly here, Terry, let's hear you before.
So
1 minute.
the woman, I don't know why Keto keep running with the thing. The woman have been indicted, Keto. So whether y'all believe it or not, going around the jungle, talking about what is it? The pape girl, horse info, blah blah. That's not the issue we're discussing tonight. We're discussing Fina Bono being indicted, and the 40 persons under the indictment, and this happened with the asset recovery team and the Ministry of Justice. They are the one who draw up the indictment through the court. That was his Cotto said, criminal code C, I think, right? And they draw up this indictment that have come against the so-called, former CDC people. And it's there, money laundering, all the crimes that they have been indicted for, money laundering, blah, 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 all those things is all there. So the only thing we need to be talking now is that Clark Martin should prove to us whether if those things really transpire in the court of law. That what I expected for sedition to be saying that, but they're not just saying that. They say, oh no, the woman that the man didn't have the right to say they. Okay, I agree. Maybe he was too harsh. He said something that he shouldn't have said, but the man have an indictment from the court. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Mali?
Yes, I think
and Dr. Mali, you can check in the 1973 law, panel law, 1973. Go and check it all. Liberal panel law, 1973. You will find it.
It was just for the purpose of our listener, not necessarily to be archived for ourselves. But however, I think the issue here, we need to give credit. We need to give credit to His Excellency President Boakai government. At least for the first time, they're running after alleged criminals. I mean, that's a good news. This will send a very good signal across the 16th county that this government is up now and try to run after or try to go after alleged criminals. I think that's a good news, and we need to embrace it since 1847. I never saw this happening under His Excellency President We Are government, but now it's happening now. Like Terry said, we need to get away from the issue of witch hunt and look at the issue and face the facts and make other references to other things why they're not happening. I think that make the conversation more mature. You see, then we can take forward. But it's like, I think one of the main thing in the whole issue is the dubious transaction, the dark transaction. Like Koto was bringing her profession in to educate us about the transaction got to be documented. You know, in Liberia, there is shortcut taking money here, it plenty there. It really plenty there. So if the indictment came and they say Fina Bono, someone said in the comment section here, she in Turkey studying. Okay, the indictment will be waiting for her. The day she arrived, that the first thing going to welcome her to the airport. From the airport, where? To the police station, from the police station to the court. So there's no problem with that. Indictment, you don't need to fee it. It's a document. You can give it injection. It will be there waiting. A lifeless.
You guys, so ridiculous. They're not taking IV, right? Okay.
They're not taking IV. They're not taking protein. Okay. No carbohydrate.
Okay. All right. Let me bring in Keto and then Moses kind of cram the.
Oh my God! I wanted to be the last because when I shake this place, I want Moses to be getting fever. So okay, I will go. And I like the way Mr. Malik Bole indict. He call it alleged criminal. Alleged criminal in the first time. Why since 1847? No. They are not the first alleged criminal. And yeah, you're right to say alleged, because the first criminal that we know since 1847 was Joseph Boakai when he was fired from hold on there, hold your peace. The first criminal we know that was fired from government by Samuel Kenyon Doe, His Excellency President Samuel Kenyon Doe, was Joseph Boakai.
We corrected that
2 times from government. No point of correction. Please don't correct me.
That's lie.
People, you give me chance. You give me chance. You won't say record straight. You won't say the Beno. That the first criminal we know according to history.
Lie.
The second criminal we know, the people that we know that he said nobody were indicted anywhere. We know Julie Bryan, Honor Ellen Johnson said he were indicted. He was charged. He went to jail for the scene. Corruption, died. So many people have been indicted and sent to jail for corruption in Liberia. This is not the first time. President Weah, they went through. President Samuka went to jail. He had to appeal.
What?
You will know that he was indicted. You know that President Samuka. You know that that's the reason why he didn't sit as senator, because of the money he used on the AFM money he used on whatever he used it on. So this is not strange in our society. So you're acting like this thing just happened when you're running with political stunt. These are big political stunt you're running with. Unfortunately, it will backfire in your faces. I don't need nobody to correct me yet. We speak our mind. When you come, instead of say they indicted people or the alleged or indicted people, you saying, I mean, the people are alleged of embezzling money, you say they are alleged criminals. You want to characterize them, to demean them. And that's the reason why when you do that, people who got respect for those people will come at your own people too and say the same thing. And that's the same thing Mr. Moses was saying, Mr. Moses Sigby was saying. We should stop that. We can't do that. And you're not the only one that got, the loudspeaker to just say things, people going, they're led. No, we'll say our own. And it's in history, it's in record, it cast in black and white, in stones, that Joseph Boakai was fired under the PRC government from 1983 to 1985. He was fired for embezzlement. He was fired under Amos Sawyer. Amos Sawyer came out because Amos Sawyer didn't want to be political. He came back and said, no, it was political reason. It was this reason, but we know Amos Sawyer fired him. Okay. Thank you very much.
And before we will do this here again, before Moses come, we made our clarification.
There we go. So, Mr. CEO, how many times you make clarification on all the other people thinking when they talk about that? You know some of the teeny put they were bunch of you make clarification. You make clarification. That was say CEO. You're not independent. You
What a corruption just about that day.
Why come in China? You don't have before you try to
I know. Cause yeah, you tell me the PRO 40, the rest issue, all the things that they fire the man. Your king, your polish the man to be the saint of Liberia. Not knowing that man is stained with corruption.
No, he is. He is.
So,
He's not.
okay, we gotta go. Hold on.
How can a saint come to Liberia and then say he and a friend had gentleman agreement? He met and then he come back again. I saw him.
Okay, guys, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. We gotta go. Again, when we're having these conversations, people listen. We're not here just to entertain, and we gotta get the record straight. As far as we are concerned, the Cuban president Joseph Newman Boyka at no time was fired by Samuel Doe. Joseph Boyka was transferred, and he was sent as the commissioners of the Green Revolution. In fact, Boyka was one of the confident person that Samuel Doe was trying to start away as a VP before coming down to Monument. That I can tell you. But
can you open the line?
Because of the occurrence, because of the wanted to maintain that low-fat base of that sort of impropriety that went on. It was his fault. He needed a competent person to lead the Green Revolution process. How Samuel Doe transferred him to lead, and he was reporting directly in the office of the president. And Blosso Doe came in. So we are not going to push the line here that Joseph Boyka was fired. Amos Sawyer in tune that different thing. Let's hear you, Moses, before we go.
Well,
you get it. You get it now,
Mr. Jones, Dr. Jones. You must say on the same level today.
The man you are pressing here, you probably go ahead.
You're giving me
go ahead, Moses. You gotta go. I'm already out of time.
Okay. They possibly open the line.
No, the line is closed now. We're not already out of time. After 10. We haven't got the time we can leave.
That you did. Anyway, let me conclude by saying a couple of things. Number one is that I heard my sister Koto say the investigation continues after the indictment. After the indictment, investigation ceased. The evidence that was presented.
I know, you're right. So I don't know.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, thank you.
Number two is that our people need to understand that when these things, let the justice system take its course and let that politicize an investigation, an indictment, and a prosecution. I think there's too many of those things happening, whereas they encourage these different supporters to go to the courthouse and go rally and do all that stuff. You cannot mix politics with the criminal justice system. It's wrong and it's terrible practice. We need to begin to respect our criminal justice system that has been set up. There are a lot of things that go on. Once someone is indicted, the evidence that has been presented by whom, it has to be by the prosecutory team, and that the judge finds it fitting for that prosecution to go forward, and that they have enough evidence to support it. That doesn't mean that the person who is accused does not have the right, and that's what it said. They have the right to hire a lawyer, and the lawyer can put forward in the case. And it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt on criminal cases, not preponderance of the evidence. Reasonable doubt. One person in the 12-man jury said, this man not guilty, the man not guilty. It has to be all 12 jurors who decide, yes, we found him guilty. Okay? So now, here what I'm going at. My last thing I want to say is about my Air Liberia.
Oh,
people, I'm thinking, Reverend, you got to pray for us. Don't be laughing at me. I'm serious.
Sorry, Mr. Segway, are you with a diaspora phone?
No, I'm not with no diaspora phone. But I'm bringing the thing here because your diaspora thing, the way you did it, it was not correct. And some of us would be here for a long time.
And go wear green.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about.
No.
Is that a closing statement? Moses, you gotta go.
Let me put my small thing here.
No, that's what I'm asking, because they get a diaspora equity fund. It's not that your diaspora group.
No, I don't know about the diaspora.
Oh, okay, that's why I was asking.
This is my own kind of thing I'm trying to bring about. I'm putting my proposal together. The doctor did good research, and he already on my side. So I know I got good thing on that side. if the people in the diaspora want to do anything for Liberia, one of the things we can do is to invest, pay $10 a share, and the many people that buy the share in this thing, we can get with Boeing or any other existing airline to create a way for us to go back and forth to Liberia, which will at least bring something back to us and bring something to our country. So this idea, Yamana overlook that's that beating the coming from small person.
Yeah, that's why I was really asking you.
Let me finish my sabotage.
Okay, go ahead.
Man. You see,
I see you not fair. They see, I'm missing what Mr. Toto come back. They see you not fair.
Oh, really?
So you hear the kind of thing that are bit of you can really hear
you get it about that group. You get it about that group more than 5 minutes to can talk about that here.
Weto, why you interrupting my thing?
The girl 1 minute you can talk about that here with you and the doctor. The doctor won't execute people. You want for people to be hanging all that the doctor you got me lives with.
Huh? What you talking about? What you talking about?
You kidding me?
I gotta go.
No, Mr. So, on a serious note, Weto, stop interrupting my campaign. I'm campaigning for the people in the diaspora to really think about what we can do. One of the things we can do, we need to bring back Air Liberia. Period. I'm putting my proposal together though, and it will be presented right on the show, and it will challenge all Liberians in the diaspora.
All right.
Yeah, that's why that's why I asking.
I support you 100%.
That's why I asking whether you with the equity fund, because there is an organization called the Diaspora Equity. We are paying share by share. You can own up to 1,000 share.
So
Say the Unity Party. Say the Unity Party.
What you talking about with Unity? Everything else is Unity Party.
Unity Party. The number be
you're good politics from there.
The number be on the class reload. That way you go do it. In acting there.
Okay. All right. The difference is we can back our own. Do I know you can see? Do I know backing?
Why am I backing the party team for you to carry the local country? Oh, dear.
Be back here for more information, entertainment, and conversation. I want to thank you so much to our viewers and listeners. By God's will, I'm going to be back here for more programs.
Oh my God. Good show, gentlemen.
Bye-bye. You see? So Tabata. Hey, we want to thank you so much for your time. And again, we say happy birthday to one of our top followers of LPR. Today we'll be celebrating your birthday. And if you are a follower of LPR, you want us to showcase your day, let us know. We always like to get his consent before we do that here on this network. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye for now.